The time has come, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome the American Advertising Federation's President and CEO, Steve Pacheco, and the Vice President of Agency and Brand Solutions at Google, the Chair of the AAF Board, and member of the Advertising Hall of Achievement, Class of 2013, Tara Walpert-Levy.
Good afternoon, Chicago, and welcome to the Windy City. Those of you who made it, we've still got a few people stranded. It's been quite a day and a half to get to Chicago and be at this moment. But we're very, very happy to be here and in the company of so many creative, compassionate minds who have blown into the Windy City to help us celebrate this special day. Our annual AAF Advertising Hall of Achievement is celebrating its 27th, why is that hard for me to say? Its 27th anniversary at today's special event. We're honored that you're here. Reaching this milestone is in no small part due to our amazing sponsors who generously support us and today's inductions. Just knowing that so many past honorees are here today with us, along with AAF members, volunteers, friends, and students, and future AAF leaders, is truly a great feeling for me. I'd love to give a round of applause to all of our Hall of Fame Achievement alumni here. Please stand and be noticed if you are an Advertising Hall of Achievement alumni. Our ultimate objective for today is to shed recognition on 8 incredibly talented individuals who have reached this honorable distinction. As you well know, the very nature of creating memorable and powerful advertising is working together for a common goal. And the AAF Hall of Achievement recognizes and acknowledges that rich diversity and that range of experiences, backgrounds, and cultures. Whether you know them personally or not, the 2019 class of the Hall of Achievement includes people you should be very, very proud of, not only for their great contributions to advance our stated mission of protecting and promoting the profession of advertising, but also by just being great citizens of the world and making their communities a better place. All of the honorees that will be featured today have uniquely demonstrated skills that transcend these time-honored traits with proven results in their communities. The Advertising Hall of Achievement is one of our many pride and joys at the AAF, but I think today is special because I know you're going to be inspired, encouraged, and maybe a little challenged, all in a good way. These are good people doing great things, and we hope you enjoy today's celebration.
Thanks, Steve. This is my absolute favorite advertising event of the year. In an industry that has a few events, by the way. And as Steve notes, the Advertising Hall of Achievement Awards ceremony has been a cornerstone of industry recognition since 1993. We're thrilled this year to distinguish these 8 individuals who've achieved so much as advertising professionals and have made it a point to make a difference in their communities as well. These superstars are the change agents of today and the industry legends of tomorrow. They're building on a proud tradition and a strong foundation, but make no mistake, each of them is in their own way reinventing the business of advertising and storytelling. It's a true privilege to welcome them into the Hall of Achievement. And for each of you, I hope the AAF and your experience in this moment is as meaningful for you as it was for me. I hope that you revel in the award and the chance to celebrate with your friends and family and to show them how many people not only understand and value what you do, not something to be taken for granted in our industry, but also care so deeply about who you are. I hope the work of the AAF makes as much of an impression on you as it did on me, and that you too commit yourself to ongoing support of the AAF and its important industry initiatives. For me, standing here as chair of the AAF board 6 years after I was inducted is truly humbling. To lead a board of such amazing industry leaders, many of whom are also alumni of the Hall of Achievement, and many who are not only colleagues but friends, is a gift. Thank you to all of the members of the board who are here this afternoon supporting this event and all of our honorees. Whether it's celebrating the legends of advertising or managing a network of legends in the making, we've got a couple tables of our prize-winning students here today. setting industry standards for ethics, diversity, and inclusion, or ensuring we are heard by policymakers in DC. We are the unified voice for advertising. We've got a powerful mission, and I am grateful to share it with each and every one of you. And now it's my pleasure to introduce the Vice Chair of the Advertising Hall of Achievement, a U.S. marketing executive of McDonald's and a member of the Advertising Hall of Achievement class of 2017, Chicago's own Lizette Williams.
I love that they have to bring out this little footstool for me to stand on. Yeah, don't talk about me, y'all. Welcome to Chicago. We brought some wonderful weather for those of you who came in from out of town, and we're very excited. Thank you, Tara, so much for the wonderful introduction. As you can imagine, we take great pride in the Hall of Achievement and the opportunity to be part of the important initiatives of the AAF. I was supposed to be standing up here with Brian Benedict, my fellow chair. We've worked on this for almost a year. And unfortunately, as the weather would have it, he is unable to be here. But we've had a fantastic ride, really doing the work to welcome this year's class of Hall of Achievers. It's a breath of fresh air to step back and to celebrate a group of people who represent hope, progress, and innovation, and who demonstrate such care and commitment in their careers, and most importantly, in who they are. To celebrate our honorees, all of whom represent the hallmarks of what it means to be part of the remarkable AAF, it's an honor for us. We are all inspired by those who lead by example. And today, we honor the best of our great industry, not just to praise them, but to keep our industry and our ideals constantly moving forward in a fast-changing landscape. To be honored here means that out of the millions of young professionals employed by our industry, your work, your accomplishments, your contributions put you in the most elite group. Months of deliberations and voting by our esteemed Council of Judges resulted in this group of 8 selected this year for membership into the Hall. The Council of Judges, they represent all facets of the advertising industry, and they take the vetting process very seriously. It's no easy task to whittle down the nominated pool of talent to just the few who are selected into the induction into the Hall. AAF Hall of Achievers, they're the individuals who make our industry dynamic. They make our industry and our business exciting, and they bring so much to the table, and you'll get to hear about them today. It's your talent, your creativity, and your leadership in advertising that we recognize today. And we in this room are so fortunate to be beneficiaries of all of your work and inspiration. This distinction represents more than their extraordinary professional achievements. You know, one of the most important attributes that we seek in the Hall of Achievement is really an unwavering commitment to public service. And one of our honorees receives an additional distinction of the Jack Averett Volunteer Spirit Award. I'm going to talk a little bit about Jack Averett. Jack Averett was a volunteer extraordinaire, joining many committees, spearheading industry and community initiatives, and displaying exceptional leadership. So much so that he inspired fellow industry professionals to do the same, including myself, receiving this recognition when I was inducted as part of the 2017 Hall of Achievement class. Words cannot properly express how meaningful that was for me, and I will always cherish it as both a top career and personal milestone. The achievements of all of these honorees are making a wonderful difference in the lives of others. Professionalism, philanthropy, individualism, creativity. In these ways and so many more, the Hall plays a vital role in our industry. And now, without further ado, the Advertising Hall of Achievement Class of 2019. To introduce our first inductee, Please welcome the Chief Inclusion and Experience Officer for Publicis Group and my dear friend, Renetta McCann.
Lizette and I share the same box. Kwame, your professional accomplishments are no doubt impressive, but it's the level of love, yes, I said love, that your peers expressed that has secured my undying fandom. You are a unifier of humankind. The AAF, of course, represents the unifying voice for advertising. You get where I'm going. You are meant to be part of this Hall of Achievement class because it is a perfect fit. And I'll circle back to that love thing in a bit. As a leading creative executive with a background in advertising and technology, it's no wonder everything you encounter prospers, and that it is because you lead with your conscience. Even though you are no longer the managing director of brand development at Chobani, your contributions, your insightful leadership, all remain part of its business models. We know this because several of the folks that nominated you for this honor are former recipients of this very award. Designing and efficiently building a cutting-edge in-house creative discipline that generated demand and grew the brand via advertising, digital innovation, creative partnerships, and experiential would be stress-inducing, even daunting to many. Your cool, easygoing demeanor acted as a salve for others. You were so passionate about mentoring. You created a space for colleagues to express themselves freely. Realizing this needed to be more encompassing, even company-wide, you helped lead the formation of Chobani's Employee-Led Diversity and Inclusion Council. Events are held to celebrate the company's diverse cultural heritage. We learned through your guidance the workforce feels more unified because individual voices are not just heard, but they are respected. Your team was named 2019 In-House Agency of the Year by Advertising Age. The Fast Company brand included Chobani on its most innovative companies list 3 years in a row. Recognitions from such industry leaders as Graphis, TDC, ADC, One Show, Clio, and Cannes have found their way to Kwame. Now, life before Chobani did exist. In 2016, we saw you join Sid Lee as a partner in New York. Kwame guided such clients as Apple, Facebook, Stella Artois, and Adidas on creative production, experiential, and technology. Prior to that successful span, he led integrated production teams for Anomaly and Saatchi & Saatchi in New York for projects on Nike, Budweiser, Renaissance Hotels, and Captain Morgan. I would be remiss if I did not mention your notable work at Media Arts Lab in Los Angeles on global campaigns for Apple and at VML in New York, and various projects for Accenture and Xerox. Other notable projects over Kwame's career include Uniqlo Recipe, selected as one of the best apps of 2013 by Apple, Intel HeartBot, an innovative data visualization robot, and Stella Artois Le Saveur, a global culinary experiential platform launched in New York, Buenos Aires, Montreal, and Seoul, with a music video you can taste featuring The Roots. Kwame also worked on Apple's Mac versus PC campaign, selected as Adweek's Campaign of the Year in 2011. Kwame has served as a jury president for AICP and on juries for D&AD, Think LA, and the FWA. He has also spoken on the main stage at industry conferences, including Advertising Week, the 3% Conference, ProMax BDA, and One Club Creative Summit. Something tells me you might just be reaching the edge of your comfort zone being talked about like this. Well, hold on, Kwame, there's more. Kwame is a proud co-founder at Saturday Morning, a not-for-profit organization that fights injustice and bias to promote peace and generate love between people of all races. Notable projects include Spotify's Black History is Happening Now and Peace Briefs, winner of a Silver Lion at Cannes. Saturday Morning also provides scholarships through Syracuse University and the VCU Brand Center to increase the numbers of young people of color in the creative business. A side business of Kwame's, a fashion and goods boutique, August Market, also exists. It was selected as Best New Clothing Boutique in Western New York. Do you carry sneakers? We've been informed that sneakers are an integral part of your fashion must-haves. These words are so pure and marvelously simple, but powerful. And I'm quoting, "Besides being an exceptional advertising executive, Kwame is an incredibly kind human being. We've learned you make friends easily and know the value of maintaining friendships. Is your nickname possibly Rolodex? Kwame, we've learned your passion never gets diluted by emotion. You are always poised and level-headed in difficult situations. Ever-changing deadlines and project objectives never bogged you down, and neither does life. Your passions are palpable. Kwame, it is my honor to welcome you to the AAF's 2019 Hall of Achievement. Congratulations.
Hello, I'm a Mac.
And I'm a PC. You know, I've actually just finished a home movie.
That's so funny. I just finished my own home movie. I did it on iMovie. It was really easy.
Well, I doubt it's as excellent as mine, but I'd be happy to take a look.
Yeah, that would be great.
Roll it.
Hi, I'm a Mac home movie.
We've been working with this Oxford professor of experimental psychology to create a music track that changes the way that stellar artois tastes.
Through the streets we parade like a second line. Game face, we charade, hard to recognize. Living what we only set aside for better times. Put the roses in the vibes while the guests arrive.
Black history is so much more than just 1 month.
Black history is America. Our influence is everywhere.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kwame Taylor Hayford.
I left my sneakers in Brooklyn. Got my proper dress shoes on today. Thank you, Renetta, for that very generous introduction. I'd like to start off by saying a sincere thanks to Steve and to Connie and to their entire team at the American Advertising Federation. I learned last night that in 26 years, there are fewer than 300 people that are part of this amazing group of inductees. So I'm truly honored. I feel very lucky that I made the cut. Last night I had drinks with a few of my fellow inductees. It's crazy inspiring, the work that you've all done and the impressive accomplishments that you've garnered over your careers. Melissa, Brandon and Brandon, John and John, Britt and Dara, congratulations. I'm super proud to be part of your sort of illustrious group, and I look forward to getting to know you all much better in the coming years. I think it's important to mention that no one gets to a stage like this on their own. While I'm standing here accepting this incredible honor, there's an even more impressive group of people who are not on stage with me today, whose humanity, kindness, generosity, blood, sweat, and tears have propelled me forward in my life and in my career. I'll start where it all began, with Patrick and Kakra, my parents, Ghanaian immigrants who raised 5 children on 3 different continents and instilled in us the importance of education, the value of hard work, and the imperative to treat everyone you meet with equality and respect. And while they still, probably to this day, can't tell you exactly what it is I do, they've always motivated me to pursue my passion, and they've always been there to remind me that there is a lot more to achieve. To my brothers and sisters who have always been there, except oddly today. So I'll modify that, who've mostly been there. Your love and support and knowing that you're there has always given me the comfort and the confidence to take sometimes, very risky pursuits. In my life, there are people that I've looked up to. There are people that I've aspired to be like. There are people that have challenged me and people that have helped me grow. There are people that I'm fortunate enough to have shared my journey and my experiences with. All of you have been instrumental in me getting to this point. I want to thank Tiffany Warren. Winning the AdColor Rising Star Award almost a decade ago gave me the recognition and the motivation to continue to work hard and to achieve. I need to thank Saatchi & Saatchi, Anomaly, Sid Lee, and all my colleagues there. Great agencies where I cut my teeth, learned the fundamentals, made creative work that I'm very proud of, and built some amazing friendships. I want to thank my co-founders at Saturday Morning, to Keith, Jeff, Jayanta, and of course, Deja. I truly enjoy our group text, our weekly calls, and working together to shift perceptions on bias and injustice through the creative work that we do. It's incredibly meaningful to me. I, of course, need to thank 2 former honorees who nominated me for this award, Hamdi Ulukaya and Peter McGinnis from Chobani. What you've both done with your lives and with your careers is an inspiration to us all. Hamdi for founding an incredible company that shows every day and very clearly that you can successfully pursue both business and profit and purpose, for always being authentic and for being his true self. I truly commend him. And to Peter McGinnis for being a maverick at advertising, marketing, PR, sales, new product development, the list goes on and on. He is truly a remarkable leader, and I'm confident that under his continued leadership, Chobani is going to continue to thrive. Working with my friend Leland, Lisa, and the rest of the talented team at Chobani was a dream come true. I'm very proud of all we achieved together in a very short amount of time. You know, growing up with a father that worked at the UN, our dinner table was rich with conversation about the current affairs in the world, the state of politics, the state of the environment. While I cared deeply about all that, I found it challenging to reconcile my passion for creativity and for the advertising industry, an industry that I loved and enjoyed and wanted to stay engaged in with those ideals. Being at Chobani helped me embrace the fact that you can do both, and you can do both very successfully. And it inspired me to pursue my dream of venturing out to form my own creative company, Kin. My good friend and talented co-founder, Sophie, and I are working with brands, organizations, and individuals to unleash culture and business as forces for good. We're doing transformative work with businesses. We're helping them with purpose and impact platforms to connect with communities using creativity and to change our planet for the better. We're excited to have more of you join us in that journey. I've saved the best for last. To my wife, Tamara, who's been my partner in crime since day one. I love you. I love the adventure that we're building together. And I'm excited for what's to come. Thanks for always supporting me, always challenging me, and for generally being the kindest person I know. Thank you all.
To introduce our next honoree, please welcome the head of North America Advertising for Spotify, Brian Berner.
Our next honoree does not bring mayhem. He brings brilliance to the advertising world. Absolute brilliance. Please welcome honoree Britt Nolan. Britt is the mastermind behind the despicable character we uncomfortably cringe at, and Allstate knows it is a message that resonates with viewers across demographics. Britt literally gets inside the unfortunately relatable world of oops and oh no's, delivering an impressionable, results-driven message, a marketer's boon. Britt recently joined DDB as the Chief Creative Officer after 10 years as co-president and CCO for Leo Burnett. Britt's extensive resume may soon need to be listed as Volume 1, Volume 2. You get the idea. There's no stopping this guy. Did I mention he's brilliant? And yes, he has the recognition to prove it. With over 50 Cannes Lion Awards, Effie's, The One Show, Cleos. Why? He could start his own hardware business. But wait, there's more. He's been recognized by Adweek's 40 Under 40, Crane's Chicago Business 40 Under 40, Business Insider's 30 Most Creative People in Social Media Marketing. Britt is all about results-driven messaging. Can we say Kraft's Legal Aid? An award-winning campaign protecting young entrepreneurs. More on Britt's marketing marvels in a moment. I need to talk about Britt, the person, the big picture guy. Britt played a significant role in building Burnett's diversity and inclusion programming. Core values built into his own professional persona that are shared by the AAF. To place a value on this selfless, equal motivator, his well-known mentoring skills are without measure, so say colleagues. One person summed it up this way: Britt's work ethic, leadership, and business acumen, alongside his relentless push for creative excellence, is dynamic. It is truly transformative. One might think of him as a savant of the imagination. His mind matrix is awe-inspiring. He challenges himself and he encourages others to be the best. Case in point, while at Burnett, he was closely involved with Shades, an employee resource group specifically designed to engage Black employees. Then there was the Pencil Project, a scholarship and apprenticeship for prospective employees of color, along with Create Greater Than, an initiative aimed at celebrating and understanding our differences and turning inclusion into a source of creative power, along with unprecedented support of the 3% Conference. It is really neither practical nor feasible in this space to cite all of Britt's marketing achievements. I would be remiss to say many of Britt's accomplishments are realized due to his innate ability to include others, to inspire, nurture, and embrace the creative whole. These are core tenets of the AAF, and Britt believes inclusiveness is paramount to success. Britt has been the creative force behind some of the world's best-known marketers, including Allstate, Samsung, and McDonald's. He knows how to build iconic brands, keep them relevant in today's culture, and how to create a social impact with creativity. His proven track record for driving growth while earning industry accolades is admirable, to say the least. An impressive amount of results-driven, award-winning work has been delivered via Britt's artistically open mind and masterful skills, which we'll watch in a moment. The 2019 Ad Age A-List ranked Leo Burnett an agency to watch. The A-List pays tribute to what Ad Age calls the big, bold thinkers. Think Britt Nolan. Britt is just an overall great person, kind to everyone, present for others always. His investment in his professional life is a mirror image of his good guy ways. Talent personified and with great aplomb. Britt Nolan, it is my indeed pleasure to welcome you to the AAF's 2019 Hall of Achievement class. It's very well deserved. Congratulations.
The Art Institute of Chicago is now launching an interactive experience with the help of Airbnb.
The first block of nights sold out in 5 minutes. Within 1 week, this story was covered in over 100 countries.
Watch me, watch me, watch me.
Country Time Lemonade. Heard all about this, and they're just not having it.
Can find me up in the way. I give a fuck about your wave. Drowning my soul in the basement. Look, I ain't got much in the bank. I got a lot I can say. Caught up with goddesses, hey. I hope you forgive my mistakes.
Yeah, run around with a renegade. You should take a seat, save your energy. I try to heal a guy.
Tastes like justice.
Time you need to call your enemies. I landed in a visa and I need a visa. I ain't playing with you, this no mama me. I need a hottie toddy with a body, yeah. I just spit the knowledge, then I'm out of here. That's what they are when we come around.
I'm your blind spot.
I'm a raccoon. I'm a wild deer. I'm your cat. I'm a teenage girl.
I'm all that techie stuff you got crammed into your brand new car.
If you want the rain, then we coming down.
Let's come to the pool. I'm awesome. Kick flipping the Carsons. We should run for the pool. I got the 5 flow. The department exhausted. I own nothing in you. I'm in the Tahoe.
You're not even gonna hold that cantaloupe against your face?
You such a high beast, man, you making me vibe.
I'm sure you'll love Kevin forever.
Watch me, watch me. Do this.
Pretty windy up here. I don't like it.
Watch me, watch me, watch me. Do this. After the hour we come around. This is your tower, we want it now. How big is your army? 100,000.
Rick.
So get all state.
If you want the rain, then we coming down.
Look, this shit is out of here. You got the heat, I was not aware. Me and BB out in Rotterdam, got a new man, damn, now I see him. He on the floor on my Coliseum. I hope the guy, he don't sign a prenup. See my ex on the street like I never seen him.
Watch me, watch me, watch me. Do this. You see me dancing like I'm Elvis. Just tell your man that it's all in the pelvis. Look, watch me, watch me, watch me, watch me. Do this. If you want the rain, then we coming down.
You gotta put the sunset right there, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, Britt Nolan.
Thank you. Wow, that's really flattering. What a huge, huge honor this is to be here today, and I'm so thrilled to be able to share it with my kids. Most of them, 75% of my kids are able to be here today. But not so much so that they can hear what I have to say, and they already know me, but so that they can be inspired by this amazing class of fellow inductees, by your incredible stories, your powerful words. So before anything, I want to thank you all, fellow honorees, for making an impression on my boys today. Thanks. This honor overwhelms me with gratitude. There's so many people I want to thank. And of course, I'm hugely grateful to all the usual suspects, my parents, my coworkers, clients, the many, many amazing leaders I've been lucky enough to work with, my incredible, beautiful wife, Catherine. I always think it's funny that we got to throw in beautiful when we thank our wives, like what she needs from me right now is reassurance on her appearance. You look great, sweetheart. But truthfully, I've already thanked a lot of those people. I try to thank them as often as possible. The more I reflect, the more gratitude I have for a really small handful of tiny moments early in my career that have turned out to have a huge impact on me. And most of these people have gone unacknowledged. So I want to use this time to just get a few of those off my chest. First is a literature professor by the name of Mairead Byrne. I took her class my freshman year of college before I had declared a major or had any idea what I wanted to do with my life. And each week she'd have us take a vocabulary quiz. Well, I didn't particularly like quizzes. What I liked was playing Boulder Dash. So that's what I'd do. I'd literally just look at the word and write the funniest answer I could think of. She wasn't the first teacher I did this to, but she was the first that didn't give me an F. Instead, she kept me after class one day, handed back a quiz, and said, "You're a writer." It's amazing how simply articulating someone's strength to them can change their life. Until then, I thought I was just a smartass. Thank you to my sister Kelly, who around that same time told me that she'd met a guy who reminded her of me, and he worked in advertising. That was it. That was all the spark it took to get my interest. I'd like to thank those two awful creative directors who hosted me for an informational interview at Gray, New York in 2001. On the advice of my father, I wore a suit and shiny shoes to the meeting. Before even looking at my portfolio, these two made fun of my clothes and then lectured me about how not just anybody can be a copywriter. He said, "You've got to go to portfolio school, and you've got to do this and that, and blah, blah, blah." I've lost the file in my brain that contained your names, which is a good thing. But I am so grateful to you two. You guys were the worst. And I think about you all the time, not just because I made it my personal goal to outshine you, but because you showed me just how closed-minded and hypocritically exclusive this industry can be. Thank you for being an unforgettable reminder of what we're up against. I'd like to thank Miami Ad School for being too expensive. I desperately wanted to go, but when you graduate from college at 21 with a wife and a toddler, that's not an option, thank God. Had I gone there, I probably wouldn't have had such a chip on my shoulder, and I probably wouldn't have worked so hard to overcompensate for my lack of education. Thank you to every CD that responded to the emails I'd send asking for a critique of my work, to everyone who made time for a coffee even when my book sucked, and to those who were kind enough to give me the name of someone else who might not think it sucked so much. To Russell Schuler for first taking a chance on me, and to Alex Bogusky for not taking a chance on me. Alex and I don't have any sort of relationship, and he would never remember this. But in 2004, when CPB was on fire, I was waiting outside his office to meet someone else for an interview, and he saw me and invited me in to chat. Now, I was working at a small agency in Charlotte at the time, really small, and I was struggling to support my family. I was positive that I could just get my foot in the door at Crispin, everything would fall into place. And I was in shock that here I was, sitting across the table from one of my idols. So Alex takes a few minutes to get to know me, he hears my story, and then he looks at me and he says, "Don't come here. This would be the wrong move for you." He said, "You do need to leave where you are, but instead of coming here and expecting to, learn from me, go to a bigger city, find a mid-sized agency, and just try to take over." Right? Easy. I didn't do exactly that, but I tried, and that was a great brief. Changed my life. Took Alex maybe 15 minutes. There are a lot of powerful people in this room who spend their time doing big things with other powerful people. But let's never forget how little it takes to have a massive impact on those who are just getting started or are just trying to break into our industry. Thank you.
To introduce our next honoree, please welcome back Lizette Williams.
It's an honor to be able to share some thoughts today about Dara Treseder's induction into the prestigious Hall of Achievement. I can't tell you how excited I am to be here and to be the person that actually gets to introduce all of her magic that will soon be sprinkled all over the stage. Simply stated, Dara has already packed 3 careers worth of accomplishments into her experience. Her analytical and strategic skills are exceptional, and she is the model to emulate in today's evolving definition of the CMO role. Dara's tremendous career is highlighted best through the remarks made by her notable mentions in management. As Dr. Joseph DeSimone, the founder and CEO of Carbon, says best in his nomination letter, when others see an insurmountable challenge, Dara sees opportunity and has the belief that obstacle is the way forward. Or as Dara's former boss and mentor, Susan Siegel, CEO of GE's Business Innovations and GE Ventures shares, Dara cuts through the noise to provide CEOs, CMOs, and marketers who are still climbing the ladder insights on what really matters and what will drive impact. And she does this all with unparalleled passion and style. Dara's work in making the corporate giants and startups that she has worked for more inclusive and diverse is some of the most important and industry-changing work she is doing. Her co-development of the R2P2, that means recruit, retain, promote, and protect, talent management process is nothing short of brilliant. It is this work, this culture-changing, revenue-generating, and oh so long overdue work that I anticipate will be Dara's legacy. She has more than well earned her reputation for breathing new life into successful institutions. Something that everyone in this room understands is no easy feat. But I would be completely remiss if I did not talk about Dara's first impression and Dara the person, not just Dara the executive. She is a woman of depth and experience well beyond her years. She strongly identifies with her heritage and knows exactly where she comes from and who she is. Dara understands her trailblazing success and all that it represents to her parents and her beautiful family. While seemingly having it all, Dara is candid about the numerous compromises that come along with raising a young family, who I happened to meet this morning, with her wonderful husband, William. Being an in-demand CMO and balancing her responsibilities as a daughter and a friend. Dara has proven she is an impactful leader for today, and I'm absolutely positive she will continue to be for the future of this great industry for many, many years to come. She is unquestionably one of our industry's finest.
You think Mommy's she's pretty amazing at work?
Amazing and a star.
Amazing and a star. She's such a
Maybe
star, right?
star.
Hey Dara, I was so excited to hear about your award. Congratulations. I don't know anyone who deserves it more than you. You are about the best I've ever worked with in terms of developing a message, but even more important, that message is deeply tied to the business strategy, and sometimes that's overlooked. So again, congratulations and all the best.
Dara, congratulations! What an amazing honor and so well deserved.
You know, you inspire us so much. Your energy, your passion, and mostly your openness and honesty all make us want to help and all make us much better people. Congratulations.
You are exactly the kind of business leader that the world is crying out for right now, and I'm so glad that you are getting the type of recognition that you deserve. So continue to enjoy every success. You've earned it.
Congratulations, Dara. All of us at the Female Quotient are so incredibly proud of you. You go, girl.
She really connects with the company. That's so important to her, that she believes in the company and what it stands for, and the potential of the company to really change the world for the better. She was really dorking out on the M2, and so she sent me a picture of it right next to it, like thumbs upping and everything. I think that was the moment when I realized that she had connected with Carbon, and it was going to be an amazing relationship.
I think what everyone should know is what a great leader she is, well beyond the marketing role, and I can't tell you how important it is to have her by our side leading Carbon, and she's just a true executive, certainly CEO material, awesome person. Congrats, Dara.
You've worked so hard, and clearly your creativity, your ability to deliver impactful results, and your commitment to absolute excellence is just world class. And any shareholder would be very lucky to have you as their Chief of Marketing. So congratulations to you.
Oluwadara, congratulations. Oh, I'm so excited about this achievement award. Your name, Oluwadara, encapsulates the amazing goodness that your life has been to us. We really love you, and we want to wish you a very, very big congratulations.
We are so proud of you. We thank God for your life. This is just the beginning. God still has greater things for you. Mommy and I are so proud of you. We love you. Congratulations, and have a great day.
Amazing and a star. That's Mommy, definitely.
That's Mommy forever.
Forever, that's right. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dara Treseder.
Wow. It's really a tremendous honor. I'm overwhelmed with gratitude. I'm a little bit of a crier, so I'm going to try not to cry. First, I want to thank everybody at AAF. You know, this award means so much because you're selected by a jury of your peers, and that goes a really long way. So first, I just want to thank all of you for this incredible honor. I want to thank my fellow inductees. You're an incredibly impressive group. Yes, I Googled each and every one of you before I met you, and Instagram stalked you too. And you are all so impressive, not just what you've accomplished in your careers, but who you are as individuals. You know, being a part of something is so special. And for me, being a part of this class and this community is not only a wonderful career highlight, but it also fills me with a deep sense of responsibility to continue to represent the AAF Hall of Achievement in the best possible way. I'm a product of sacrifice and investment by so many people. So first, I want to do something that's probably not very conventional, but I want to thank God because I'm a woman of faith, and I wouldn't be here if not for Him. You know, I was born and raised in Yoruba, a town in the southwestern region of Nigeria. So yes, not only was I born there, but I was raised there, and I don't know about my accent. Let's talk about it later. And Ibadan literally means between the forest and the plain. In our Yoruba culture, as you heard in my mom's remarks, names have very deep meaning. I know not every culture is the same, and I've stopped asking people, what does your name mean? It's a very awkward first interaction. But names have meaning, and my name, Oluwadara, means God is good. And as an immigrant woman of color, my journey, not only in this industry, but in corporate America and the tech world, hasn't been easy. You know, I've never really been a culture fit. I've always been more of a culture ad, if you will. You know, I've been told, you're a lot, and guess what? I am. There were many times I wanted to change myself to conform, and the Bible verse, Romans 8:28, and we know that God causes all things to work together for good. It got me through those rough patches, and it's helped me stay authentically me. And the reason that's important, regardless of whatever you believe, is because being authentically you is when you can truly offer the best of you to the world. You cannot give what you do not have. And my parents who are here today, Sarah and Olubi Johnson, and my grandfather who passed away, they literally gave everything so that I could have the chance at the life that I have today. I'll never forget when I got into Harvard. It was a very difficult time for my parents, very, very rough time. They had some things going on with their business, and they literally gave everything that they had. And even my grandfather, who recently passed away, he emptied his bank account and loaned my parents money so that I would be able to have the opportunity of a lifetime. I stand on the shoulders of giants. Because of them, I am, and I'm truly grateful. And in my mother tongue, I like to say to my parents, "Eshekpupo mami ati baba mi ire akario." Okay, gonna try and keep it together, not cry. I love marketing, I love advertising, I love this industry because it influences culture, it shapes minds, and it pushes us forward. It's a powerful tool that we can use to create the world we want to see. And with that great power comes great responsibility. You know, honing my craft and becoming the leader that I am and the chief marketing officer that I am, I've been inspired by so many people, and I want to thank some of them. I want to thank my bosses and my mentors who've really inspired me, and my sponsors along the way, from Goldman Sachs, Apple, New Bridges, and now here at Carbon. My boss, Dr. Joe DeSimone, my team who's here, my colleagues, everyone at Carbon. It's really a thrill to wake up every day. Mission and purpose are so important to me. And waking up every day knowing that we're working to improve the lives of people, I'm trying to protect our planet by changing the way things are made, is really a motivator. the GOATs, as I like to call them, greatest of all times, Beth Comstock, Linda Boff, Seth Farbman, Sue Siegel, and Kim Kelleher, who really wanted to be here today, but the travel, she was actually literally in Newark for 8 hours, and she welcomed me into the AAF community. In fact, I didn't even think I was up for something like this, and she encouraged me when I was nominated. I just really want to thank her. I also want to thank Tiffany Warren, who someone gave a shout out before, but she's a diversity advocate. Yeah, let's give it up for Tiffany. I love Tiffany so much because she really pushes us from talk to action. She pushes us so we can actually have the diversity and inclusion and equity that we need in the world, not just because it's the right thing to do, but also because it's the business savvy thing to do. It's what allows us to accomplish great and wonderful things. And my agency partners who are here, Laura Cranty, Giant Spoon, Megan Cunningham from Magnet Media, and Wells Narrative. The wonderful thing, you know, about, people always ask me, are agencies dead? No, they're not. Agencies are not dead. I think even as we do great work as marketers, it's also always great to have agencies to work with because we only know what we know, and they see a wide swath of things outside, and so they bring those inspiring ideas that challenge us. And I love it when I'm working with my agency partners when they tell me, no, Dara, that idea really sucks. So I want to thank them for their continued partnership in pushing us to be better. I'm proud of all of the things that we're doing as an industry because I really feel like we're pushing for the breakthrough change that's moving the world forward in a truly powerful way. And I wouldn't be able to give myself to the work in the way that I am without the support of my family. So I want to wrap up by thanking my amazing husband, William. The best decision I ever made in my entire life was to marry this wonderful man. Oh, I should call him beautiful. Someone talked about calling spouses beautiful. Okay, got that in there, honey, you're beautiful. After 2 months of dating, yes, it's a true story. We got married after 2 months of dating. Sometimes when you know, you know. I don't recommend it, but it worked for us. And William, you're my rock, my best friend, my biggest cheerleader, my forever truth teller. You build me up, but also keep me grounded. So I don't forget about who I am and where I come from. And the secret to having it all is not doing it all, because nobody can. It's finding a partner willing to share the joy and willing to invest time in the many other helping hands. I want to thank you for everything you do so that I can pursue my dreams. Yeah, let's celebrate William. It's pretty great. And my amazing and loving and kind children who are here in the room. I hope they don't make too much noise. Zoe, Asta, and Johan, when I told my daughter I was coming to Chicago, we weren't planning to bring them. And she was like, Mommy, I really want to be there. And that, you know, meant a lot to me. And so I'm so glad that they can be here today. Before anything and after everything, I am their mother. Becoming their mother has really fueled my desire to show young girls and children of color all over the world that they too can achieve. So I want to dedicate this recognition to all the young girls and children of color around the world who might think, like I used to think, that the world isn't ready for leaders like you. It's your time. It's your time to take your place and shine. Thank you.
To introduce our next honoree, please welcome Chief Strategy Officer at FCB Global, Vita M. Harris.
It is nothing short of a blessing for me to introduce the next inductee. In fact, neither wind, nor snowfall, nor canceled flights could possibly keep me away from this very special duty today, to share with you all just how beloved, treasured, and valued Brandon Cook is to this industry, to our FCB family, and to me personally. You see, I stood across from Brandon in the office, and ever since his first day, I've had the privilege and good fortune to observe him and see him in action. And action is the word. Brandon gives this industry his very all. Whether it was back when he was building the new business machine at McGarry Bowen, or bringing his expertise to the AAF National Education Committee by developing new programs, increasing academic engagement and diversity initiatives, or whether it was propelling FCB to new heights by strengthening our brand's reputation globally and garnering awards and recognition, such as being named to Ad Age's A-list. Brandon is like the proverbial Energizer bunny. He keeps going and going and going and going. Brandon brings this energy and joy to every day, and he infuses the office, really all of us, with it. Even when he is viewing new work on his computer, always at the loudest possible volume, because he wants to bring us along for the ride. And that he does. The enthusiasm that he has for the work and the industry is backed up by a strategic mindset that I particularly appreciate. I can tell you from my own experience, Brandon pushes us all to be better, the best we can be, even when we don't think it's doable or even possible. Whether it's a panel discussion, a speech, an event, or an op-ed, Brandon will work with our partners to ensure that they understand the angle we want to take on a subject, so we remain true to FCB and our core principles. I am particularly thankful to Brandon for ensuring that my voice as a Black woman in this industry goes uncompromised, honored, and heard. Thank you, Brandon. Or whether it's a sponsorship with a media partner to create something new, like Campaign's Power of Purpose Awards, or to push an organization to think bigger, like Out Leadership going global with their research to address the inequities LGBTQ+ employees experience in workplaces all around the world. Brandon has a big picture vision and will work tirelessly until all parties benefit. And tireless he is, as he is always available for any of our offices around the world who call on him night and day, I have to say, for help, advice, and guidance. And sitting across from him, I get to witness it all, and I mean all, and I get to call him friend. In closing, and on behalf of the FCB family, our joy is bubbling over, our pride is bursting at the seams, and our gratitude for all that Brandon is and does is never ending. Congratulations, Brandon, on being inducted into the AAF's 2019 Advertising Hall of Achievement. And know, Brandon, we love you more.
Welcome, my dears. Today we're hitting the streets to hear what people have to say about Brandon Cook. Let's hit it! Brandon Cook, amazing, am I right? No idea. Brandon Cook, do you guys love Brandon Cook? Hi, we're talking to people about Brandon Cook. What are you thinking of him?
Oh, I love Brandon. Dr. Dookie?
Dr. Dookie, yes!
I love everything about him. He's so generous, he's so kind, he loves to travel.
In relation to Tim Cook? No. Give me one word to describe him.
Eccentric. Event planner, that's 2 words.
Not if you hyphenate, not if you hyphenate! Brandon Cook or Bradley Cooper? Brandon Cook or Bradley Cooper?
Bradley Cooper!
Oh, wrong answer.
Damn it.
Hi, tell me what you love about Brandon Cook.
Oh, I love
Oh, no, not you. What do you love about Brandon Cook? Oh, yeah, he loves Taylor Swift. Shake it off. Okay, if Brandon Cook was a meal, what meal would he be?
He would be one of those tasting menus that goes on forever and ever and ever and ever.
He would be a drink. He wouldn't be a meal.
Ah, and what cocktail would that be?
Oh, probably a martini.
A shot of tequila.
And why is that?
You know, he's just like that.
Sir, hi.
Hi.
Hi, what do you love about Brandon Cook?
His United status.
How about you guys down here, Brandon Cook? Let's hear it. Give me 3 words to describe Brandon Cook.
Inspiring.
Creative.
Fun.
Yes, thank you.
Suave, sophisticated, awesome.
Oh, I thought you were going to do a third S. Thank you. And what do you want to say about this recent achievement, him getting inducted into the Hall of Achievement?
Well, we are not surprised. We are incredibly happy for him. Nobody deserves it more than Brandon.
It's about time.
Yes, Brandon Cook for president.
Hello, Lady Elaine. What would you say to him with this amazing induction to the Hall of Achievements?
Just overflowing with joy for him, and I'm just amazed at all that he's accomplished. And I can't cry because it's going to mess up my makeup. So
I can't get any better than that, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Cook.
There's a man who lives in NYC, and he came up from UNC. Now he works at FCB.
I told Vita not to make me cry, and she did it anyway. So you're not wrong that I sit across from Vita every day, and we have these amazing electronic standing desks. And while everyone else is using theirs to get fit and in shape, I use mine to endlessly entertain Vita at different levels throughout the day. Thank you, Vita, for that. I appreciate that. Can I just say how extra special this is for me, since it was the AAF and the National Student Advertising Competition way back in college that really ignited my passion for advertising and creativity. Thank you. Go in a sec. Through it, I learned the often messy and beautifully rewarding sides of creativity. I learned how to pull all-nighters and the immense value of a backup presentation laptop. I made besties that became roommates, that became parents of godsons, and would be with me for life, one of which is in the audience still. Thank you, Caroline, for being here. And if it weren't for the winning Bank of America Investment Services campaign book, I may have never landed that first baller job with Gray Advertising, making $20,000 a year. It really was $20,000. Seriously, the work this organization does, from its unmatched college chapters to its industry-leading Mosaic program, is so, so important to ensuring this industry and all the companies in this room attract incredible and diverse talent from far-flung places across the country, places like Albemarle, North Carolina. Try saying that 3 times. I'm honored to have the opportunity now to contribute back in any way Connie, Lisa, Ayana, and now Steve calling me for. Speaking of, can we just quickly get a round of applause for the incredible team that pull off huge events like this? Thank you guys so much for all that you do. So AAF, I was already grateful to you before, but now I have a new and yet another reason to say thank you. Thank you. I also need to thank my incredible FCB family that has shown up in full force today. Thank you guys all for traveling for 9+ hours, it sounds like, on flights yesterday. And to FCB Chicago for making that incredible video. Thank you so much. I've never been a part of a company with people that feel like true family like this one. Carter, Susan, Vita, Cindy, Kelly, Cole, and my entire team is here today. I can't thank you enough for your partnership, and thank you for letting me be me. I really appreciate it. The same goes to my real family who've flown in from all parts of the country for this, at this table over here. Thank you, Mom, Aunt Barbara, Marilyn, Missy, Beth, my moms, as I call them, or my golden girls. Without you, I surely wouldn't be here. Your support and love is too much to appreciate in words. And to my friends that are family. That includes friends that are still very much a part of my life from the Gary Bowen, Gotham, and Gray days. Thank you also to my fellow inductees, Melissa, John, Jonathan, Britt, Brandon, the other Brandon, Kwame, and Dara. I'm honored and humbled to sit alongside you for this amazing journey. As I've mentioned, and y'all can probably tell from my accent, which I haven't managed to lose after living in New York City for 15 years, I'm a Southerner. And when you're getting into advertising and you're from the South, there's no more legendary agency than the Martin Agency. I mean, they're the guys behind probably the truly most never finished brand out there, which is Geico. And so I got a phone call from them a long while back about a big job. I was, how do you say, a little more than excited to have that opportunity. I was immediately connected with a lady named Laverne. She was a warm, lovely lady who I guessed was in her 60s, and who I would later learn was one of the most beloved at Martin. And I found out from her that I'll be meeting with the one and only John Adams, their chairman and CEO. Now, for those of you who don't know John, he is unto himself a legend in the advertising world that I had grown up reading about and hearing epic stories of his generosity, kindness, and wisdom. So for me to be meeting him was a little bit like a kid who loves basketball getting to meet Michael Jordan. Go Hills! Sorry, shameless Tar Heel plug. So I fly down to Richmond. Laverne, who I'm still in touch with today, gives me a big hug and a warm welcome, and she asked me if I would like something to drink, and I say yes, I would like green tea. I never really got into the whole coffee craze. She comes back and she hands me this steamy mug of tea and walks off. So I look down to stir the tea, and I freeze. And this is what I see. Now, I have to say, I've searched for this picture for years, and I can never find it. But the beauty of iCloud and saved text messages became apparent the other day when I was going to text my dear friend who's here, Shelton, and it popped up. So I took that as a sign to include that in part of the story in the speech today. My first reaction, as you can imagine, to this was incredible laughter, texting all my friends. Then I paused and I thought, damn, these guys really do their research. Now, just as this is happening, they come in to take me to John, and I prepared for every possible question you can imagine. I thought about my favorite advertising, my favorite Martin advertising, why I would love living in Richmond. And I'm sitting down and I'm all nervous and I'm still a little bit shaken by the previous tea incident. And I'm sitting in this big, stately, wood-paneled office, staring at some life-size, if anyone's been in John's office, life-size sheep statues. And in comes John. And he shakes my hand, gives me a very warm welcome, says hello. He sits calmly, takes my resume that his assistant had laid out, looks at it through his glasses, removes his glasses, and he looks me directly in the eyes, takes a deep breath, and he asks me this one question. He said, Brandon, tell me what you want your legacy to be. Now, folks, here I am, a bit thrown off by my earlier events, more than a bit nervous to be meeting this legend of a man, and I'm barely out of my 20s. I didn't know what I want for lunch that day, much less what my legacy was going to be. But in that moment, I remembered what my college counselor's advice was to me when asked a question that you don't know the answer to right away. I paused, I looked at the sheep in deep thought, and I said, well, now, that's a very good question. I reached down, took a sip of water, and John, being the consummate gentleman that he is, he jumped right in and began telling me why he asked that question. But the thing is, I knew why he was asking. He was asking to make me think bigger than this job, bigger than some salary and title, bigger than just me. And that question, that moment, is something I think about every day, truly. We all know this industry is in a time of great transformation, and there will be many tough years ahead because of it. But we are also incredibly lucky to be doing what we do. We get to come up with ideas and campaigns that democratize access to information and entertainment, that create brands, that drive commerce, that build companies, that hire people, that influence the world. On our worst day, we make someone watch something for a product they didn't even know existed. But on our best days, on our truly best days, we actually change the world for the better. We can change culture to be more inclusive in countries known to hate. We create platforms that give those most often forgotten a voice. We invent devices, literally, that give people security and freedom they didn't have before. And that's just from the work of my fellow inductees here in the last couple of years. That, my friends, is the power of creativity, and that's why I love, absolutely love what we do. I'll close by asking all of you the question John asked me that I still think about every day. What do you want your legacy to be? Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, to introduce our next award, please welcome a partner at Chameleon Collective and member of the Advertising Hall of Achievement, class of 2006, Sean Finnegan.
Thank you all. Typically every year I bet one of the possible inductees $100 if they're going to cry up here. Dara, you're off the hook because that was amazing. So I'm actually going to give you $100, but I think I'm good for another hundo before Johnny Boy gets up here. I see we got Gary Vaynerchuk in the house. Gary, if you cry, it's $5 million. Got it? All right. You know, today I'm honored to help induct my boy John Halverson into the AAF Hall of Achievement, and also to win this year's special event, the Jack Avert Award. It's a special award, well-deserved and an earned awards for John, as he perfectly fits the profile of our exclusive membership of, as it's been mentioned, just over 200 people over the past 27 years. A designation that's been told to all of us inside that it will indeed change your life. You know, the profile and the requirements of the Hall of Achievement are both representative of a person who is selfless, tireless, and a consistent giver, plus as a determined and already proven business driver destined for even greater things. You know, I'm proud of all this year's class and the honorees, and congrats and welcome. Huge honor. But I will tell you that this particular induction is personal to me. You see, John is actually part of my family. I mean, not legitimate, don't worry, parents, but he has been my oldest child for quite a while. You know, in my household, which is many, he goes by many names, certainly Halvo, Mr. Halverson, Johnny Boy, even Baby Huey, for reasons I won't explain. Some we've not yet shared with him yet. But to his family, let me just first congratulate Mama and Papa Halverson. Congrats to you both. You're amazing people. Mama Halverson is the only one that can beat me in a Guinness chug-off, which I duly respect. You know, years ago, I was fortunate and lucky enough to tap John as my right-hand man at both Omnicom and Publicis Leading Digital, where at a young stage in his career, he quickly converted from being a regional media planner into a global strategist, an accomplished one. And to me and many, you know, John is just as amazing. There's no limits to his curiosity, to his energy, to his perseverance, and to his determination. John's ability to dream up and complete whatever task at hand is matchless. Whether that's leading multinational Fortune 100 company strategies or putting his body on the line, usually in a boxing ring, in an Ironman, as an onstage comedian, and all for charity. There's nothing that our boy won't do for you. He does everything to the extreme, and he tends to lap us in the process, all while wearing that damned aw shucks Midwesternly charmed smile that we love so much. So congrats, John, along with your multitude of fans, are proud of this achievement and are just as curious as to what great things lie ahead in your future.
Halvo is the smartest person I've ever met in my life, bar none, while also being the most humble person there has ever existed.
When I first met John, my first impression was this was a man who would run through walls. John doesn't accept anything other than just the highest level of performance out of himself and out of the people that he surrounds himself with.
From day one, I was extremely impressed by his very strong leadership and drive, and he's an outstanding workforce.
Girls! John is gregarious,
I'm your host.
unbelievably compassionate, and he is a great friend.
Jonathan has always been a very altruistic person. I'm very proud to know that Jonathan was my brother David's best friend. 8 years ago, I lost David to suicide. It's like John just went inside of himself and really got into a soul-searching mode. I saw him get extremely focused about his fitness and about his health. He ran his first Ironman in Dave's honor and raised awareness for mental health. It meant a lot to our family, and John and I got much closer to each other as a result.
It's not only Ironmans he did for charity. He prepared inner-city Chicago youth to go to college and helped them get into the best schools. He did an NYC-sanctioned boxing match to raise money for cancer research, and he got his ass kicked. Just kidding, he obviously won.
Johnny Halverson!
But one of the things that he keeps to himself is that he would also pay to go to those events and volunteer to do anything, like mop the sweat off the ring.
I would describe John as loyal,
Selfless,
vivacious,
Dedicated. Bigger than life.
Halvo, for me and everyone you've ever touched, no one is more deserving of this award than you. So congratulations and thank you. Thank you for being you and touching our lives in the way that you have.
Ladies and gentlemen, John Halverson.
Thank you to Sean for that amazing introduction, and to the team from VaynerMedia for putting together that amazing video. I hadn't seen it until just now, and there's a lot of work that I know they and Amy Taub, my girlfriend, put into that, so thank you guys so much. I'd like to begin with some very important thank yous. Thank you to Steve Pacheco and the AF Hall of Achievement Selection Committee. I am truly and deeply honored to be joining this year's class and the larger fraternity of industry professionals who make up the Hall of Achievement. Thank you to my family for supporting me in all of my pursuits, whether it was my kindergarten dream of being a professional tape maker or moving to Chicago to build a career in advertising. You've given me the space and support to pursue my dreams. Thank you to Sean Finnegan. Often the difference in this world is having the right mentor. I stand here today because of Sean's investment in me and his continued investment in my growth. Thank you to my advertising heroes, Steve Kopcha, a professor at University of Missouri, Jill Venata, Lisa Mann, and Dana Anderson. You taught me so many lessons about not only what to do, but how to do it the right way. Thank you to Andrew Meyerson and the team at Haymakers for Hope. When I lost two of my close friends to cancer, you helped me channel my skills and energy to make a bigger difference in this world through boxing. I hope that everybody in this room can find an organization as great as Haymakers for Hope that you can contribute your special gifts and treasures to. Thank you to my girlfriend, Amy Taub. You inspire me to follow in your footsteps and make the world an absolute better place. And thank you to my friends and colleagues who came to celebrate with me today, especially Mike Solomon, Tim, JC, Josh, Chris, David, and Stephanie Prager. You have been with me on this journey and pushed me to be my very best. In his famous December 1st, 1961 speech, When to Take My Name Off the Door, industry icon and Chicago advertising legend Leo Burnett outlines the conditions under which he demands that they change their agency name. From the time I was an intern at Leo Burnett to now, there's a particular section that I've always been fond of. When you lose your respect for the lonely man, the man at his typewriter or drawing board or behind his camera, or just scribbling ideas with one of our big black pencils, or working all night on a media plan, when you forget that the lonely man, and thank God for him, has made the agency we now have possible. In this passage, Leo Burnett reminds us that it is the people that made his agency and this larger industry so great. All too often, and with seemingly increased frequency, we as marketers are losing sight of this. We obsess over marketing models, org structures, marketing technology stacks, or financial algorithms, but fail to invest the same time, resources, or energy in what really matters, our people and our partners. As the world grows increasingly complex, brands matter more than ever. Finding a passionate, inspired, ambitious team that will live and breathe your brand makes all the difference. A thriving agency relationship is without question a true competitive business advantage. Marketers seeking to change agencies at every brief or approaching relationships with suspicion will never form the deep relationship that fosters trust and loyalty, the kind of relationship committed humans have with one another. Instead, they risk instilling fear and insecurity into the process, a process that is already daunting enough when the page is blank. In the last 2 years, I've been reminded and seen firsthand the transformative power of agencies on our business. And I believe that we are just scratching that surface. There is so much more that together we can do. So let me say my final and my deepest thank you. Thank you to my agency friends and partners, both past and present, especially VaynerMedia, Publicis, Mighty Hive, the Martin Agency, Ogilvy, OMD, and Group M joining me here today. You and your teams help me dream bigger dreams and work tirelessly to make those dreams come true. I am so deeply fortunate to be your business partner as well as your friend. Thank you for this honor.
To present our next award, please welcome the Vice President of Sales Finance for Twitter, Juliana Hayes.
Hello. I am honored to present today Melissa Barnes, inductee to the Advertising Hall of Achievement. I've worked with Melissa for the past 7 years at Twitter in her capacities of running our global brands business and now currently our Vice President of Latin America and Canada. Melissa's fierce business intellect has impressed me from the very start. Now, I'm a finance person, I'm not an ads person, so I see a different side of leadership than many of you may. And it was clear to me from the beginning that Melissa was not the average sales leader. In my role, I approve Twitter's revenue deals, so I have full visibility into the company's negotiations. Within Melissa's first month of head of global brands, she'd closed our largest ever deal, and it was the largest by a lot. Typically, a negotiation of this size would take place over months, including hundreds of emails, phone calls, back and forth meetings, internal and external. Not for Melissa. She would send a quick note, make a couple calls to the client, and come back to the deal group with a signed deal. It was inspiring to watch her work. She made it look so easy. But she also knew exactly how to pinpoint what was important to her clients. She got them to think big about investing in Twitter, and then she would negotiate hard internally against me. By the third deal, my team and I were having regular conversations that always ended with, who was this woman, and how was she so good? So I decided to get to know her. I made it a personal OKR to befriend her. The specific key result was being invited into her home. This is true. It sounds creepier than it was. And I did make it into her home, and we've been friends ever since. And as a friend, I've seen the other side of Melissa, the down-to-earth Idaho Melissa, who bakes amazing bread pudding, pours a tall glass of wine, and drinks really weak coffee. She's kind and compassionate, funny, and incredibly loyal. And as I grew to know more and more about Melissa and her background and accomplishments, her successes were no longer a mystery. Melissa grew up in Moscow, Idaho, a small college town, and attended the University of Missouri, getting her bachelor's at the #1 journalism school. She then moved to New York, spent the first 11 years of her career on the agency side, initially working in consumer marketing, but ultimately transitioning to digital. Before Twitter, her last role was as senior vice president at Fleishman Hillard, leading its New York consumer digital team. As luck would have it, an early Twitter executive met Melissa at a dinner party, and she was smart enough to offer her a job 2 days later. In her 8 years at Twitter, Melissa has risen to the leadership position she has today. Her intellect, hard work, and achievements have earned her this award, but it is her big heart and how deeply she cares about Twitter, her team, and her clients that make her so special. She has earned the reputation as one of the great leaders of the industry. I'm happy that you will now see from others what else is so great about Melissa Barnes.
What's so great about Melissa?
Melissa is super private and hates any type of attention. But Melissa, you need to hear all of this from us.
What's so great about Melissa?
I mean, what isn't great about Melissa?
Do we have like an hour?
Melissa is positive,
Really funny and witty. She's got a good heart and a great laugh.
Such a powerful lady in such a small body.
She's got this amazing ability to hold you to account and then make you feel loved at the same time.
Melissa is one of the most articulate,
sarcastic,
sweet,
she's tough,
fierce,
she's loyal,
bold,
she's direct,
creative thinkers and leaders I've ever had the pleasure to work with.
What's so great about Aunt Melissa? She always knows what she's doing.
She's not afraid to face failure and to start over.
Well, there was a time in my life where I definitely questioned how cool I was. And if it wasn't for my sister, she actually taught me how to be sort of cool.
she's almost as positive as this guy.
She has set the Guinness Book World Record on most uses of the word on stage at a sales conference.
You were my Twitter guru.
You absolutely deserve this.
Melissa, congratulations.
It is so deserved.
It's a thrill to be here with you, and I'm so proud of you.
Melissa, congratulations.
I want to congratulate you. You're an amazing business person. You're a great leader, but most of all, you're a great human being.
Ladies and gentlemen, Melissa Barnes.
So I have to say, listening to all of this and hearing about my fellow inductees, Jules and I were in the back, and I was like, Jules, feel free to add some stuff to kind of beef it up. Because there are a lot of amazing accomplishments in this room and at this table. So it's an honor to be included in all of this. I will tell you all, I struggled with this a little bit. To stand up here and be honored as an individual feels a bit uncomfortable, because when I think of all the things that I've done that have been worth anything at all, they've involved 1 million people every single time. It's not something you do by yourself. And what I know as an individual and as a leader is that if it ever becomes about you, your goals, your glory, your name in lights, the whole thing goes sideways. You lose the team and you lose the plot. And when I think about the best leaders, the people that I aspire to be like someday, and what makes them so great, it's because it's never, ever about them. If there is one thing that I do really well, it's that I surround myself with incredible people. I'm really good at picking my friends, and I am excellent at hiring people. I'm not going to go through the data, but it's there, it's known, it's a thing. And I didn't think you could codify this. How do you find really exceptional people? But a few years ago, I actually accidentally discovered that you can. I had the opportunity to put together sort of a SEAL Team 6 at Twitter. And we had a whole other profile of person that we were looking for. And for me, it was really important that this team was diverse, that they came from really different places, they had different experiences, they had different expertise. 50-50, male, female, how wonderful is that? And we were successful in hiring them. And I was kind of patting myself on the back. I was feeling like Miss Diversity and, great. And because they were so different. But something I do with anybody who reports into me is we do this exercise where we look at long-term career planning for them. And the first part of the exercise, we sit down and we talk about the values that drive them, the things that matter to them. And to do that, we do a one-on-one conversation where I ask them about their lives. I find out where they grew up, I ask them about their family. We talk about the different points in the road that got them to here. And at the end of the conversation, we sit and we look and we talk about the values that kind of emerge to make sure that we're on the same page. So I'd done this whole exercise with my team, and afterwards was going through all of my notes, and I started to see that actually there was a pattern, that, not just a pattern actually, that I was seeing the same values emerge with each of these people. And since then, as I've hired for other teams and brought in other great people, the best people have these same values. This is the part of the story where everyone's like, what are the values? It doesn't matter what you do. These values, if you hire people who have them, you will succeed. So, the first value is that they are intellectually curious. They read interesting books. They treasure experiences where they learn. They love to learn. They appreciate diverse perspectives. They don't just appreciate them, they seek them out. When they come back from something or they did something, they look at the world in a different way. That's valuable. They are ambitious. And ambitious not in the sense that they want the title or they want the money. These people want to do something great. They often don't know what that is, but they want to do something, and this is just a step in that road. They hustle. So weirdly, I've accidentally hired a few valedictorians. And what's interesting when I talk to people about the fact that they were valedictorian is that everybody says the same thing. They are not the smartest person in the room, so they've always had to compensate by being the hardest working person in the room. They are pleasers. I think pleasers can sound sort of milquetoast, kind of lame, weak. Actually, pleasers are wonderful because they are accountable. They don't want to disappoint the people that they work with. They know you have expectations of them and they want to meet them. Those are great people to have on your team. They are resilient. Everybody in this room has gone through something really hard. And if you haven't yet, you will eventually. What distinguishes this group of people about how they talk about hardship is that it's never an excuse. It's always a reason for why they are strong. The last value, this is the most important value, is that they are good humans. And they don't just think that they must appear and be a good human. They actually think they have to actively, proactively be a good human being. They have to put something in the universe that is positive, that makes the world better. That is a responsibility they take on. Integrity matters. Values matter. My experience has been when you hire these people, you can do anything. We have a couple of tables in the room today. This is a love letter to you. You were all invited because all of you carry these values, and you inspire me every day, so thank you. Speaking of love, this is the point where I have to talk about my family. The family I was born with and the family that I acquired. I know what good looks like because these are the values that you reinforce to me every day of my life. And the older I get, the more I realize what a monumental advantage it is to come from such a strong foundation. I've never been afraid of failure because I've always known that I have a net. Makes it really easy to reach for things. Finally, I want to thank the AAF. There is this amazing thing that happens when this announcement comes out. You get cards and letters and bottles of wine, and if you work at Twitter, there are tweets. And what it does is it forces you to take a minute to reflect on all the great people you know, to do work that you think is interesting, that you love, and the end product is relationships, and all this great love is a wonderful thing. I feel very lucky to be in the room today with all of you. Thank you.
To present our next award, please welcome the Senior Vice President of Marketing for Truex, Christian Borges.
How's everyone doing? Yeah, Chi-Town in the house. This is a fantastic afternoon. I am so happy and proud to be here, and congratulations to the AAF and the 2019 class for just an amazing representation of what we're all about. But without further ado, let me get it on. Our next honoree once received some good advice. No matter how famous you become, Don't let it change you. Brandon, my man, you are authentic through and through. And I have the privilege of being able to humble brag about you in this wonderful, amazing room. As CCO of Kastner North America and co-founder and chief visionary for Sneaker Inc., you are filling some pretty big shoes. You have immersed yourself in people's lives in so many meaningful ways. You've been called one of the world's freshest advertising trailblazers. You have a reputation for shaping culture via original content and keen marketing. Ad Age's 2018 40 Under 40 recognize you for your crazy good, fresh, creative works. Los Angeles Business Journal's Most Influential Marketers 2019 has you front and center. Brandon builds brands, say that 3 times, and it shows. Hennessy, Lugs, Sapporo, all here in the US. Across the pond, Absolute Vodka, McDonald's, PlayStation, Heineken, Nissan have all benefited from his shrewd skills while working with TBWA in Paris. Ogilvy Paris recognized his adroit style and he became the global creative director of Coke Zero, plus artistic seer for Louis Vuitton and Perrier as his side hustle. After 7 years, it was time to say goodbye, au revoir Paris, and land at Leo Burnett right here in the Windy City. Brandon was SVP Global Creative Director for Samsung Electronics. Under his tutelage, Samsung helped crystallize and fortify the brand that it is today. He's been highly recognized on both continents for his exemplary contributions to all things branding. Let me just rattle off a few of his awards and accolades. Cannes Lion Branded Entertainment, Coke Zero. One Show Interactive, Samsung. Webby, Coke Zero. Nissan Effie, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Broadway musical. London International, Coke Zero. First prize at Le Club des Directeurs Artistiques for both Coke and Ford. The list goes on and on. It is said with great achievement comes great responsibility, something that Dara spoke to earlier. Well, that is true. And Brandon, by all accounts, that was your first lesson learned. Interactive living, giving back, that may just be your legacy and your mantra. A fine example of this, the One Club Bootcamp. You selflessly give, guide, and support other rising creatives while embracing inclusion and diversity, something that's near and dear to my heart and to that of the AAF. From Chicago to China, LA to South Africa, you took this program to the next level with BSTEM. You brought this Give Back program right into your own agency, teaming with local organizations, young girls and women learn about business and STEM disciplines across all industries. Then Tyra Banks got on board and the young women stayed focused. Brandon has stood front of classrooms espousing his wisdom, insight, yet he's also a professional listener, which is a rarity in our industry. We know you fervently believe in our industry and are an advocate for change and growth in our industry. In 2015, Brandon co-founded Number 266, an initiative to shrink the gap of Black creative talent. A non-traditional internship program called Black Canvas was launched at Leo Burnett. Focusing on those who didn't have the privilege to attend a portfolio school, mentoring led the way. Can you guess who was the leader? Of course, my boy Brandon. Outside of the industry, Brandon is involved in St. Anne's, a women's shelter for pregnant teens in need. The Ali Foundation, Ali, is on his list of outside endeavors. But are his outside endeavors of the industry interests really outside? People, he says, don't invite brands into their homes. They invite people into their homes. So for a brand to really be relevant, powerful, and meaningful, it has to talk to them as a person. Learn what they care about, what's relevant to them now. At Kastner, you renovate brands into change agents because you get inside current culture and flip it through engaging content. Fresh storytelling resonates company-wide. Brandon's fluid style is both welcomed and embraced in corporate boardrooms as brands blend with cultural carriers of our society. He is also the co-founder and CCO at Sneaker Inc., which I am so disappointed I didn't wear my kicks today, but that's another story. Sneaker Inc. is a new OTT media brand covering the $55 billion global sneaker industry, $55 billion globally. Sneaker Inc. has turned sneakers into more than a trend, but a driving force of culture and international conversation. With all that, he's about to turn VC on its head and move into a place where impact meets investment in a very fresh and culturally driven way. Simply put, Brandon has a huge heart. He is selfless. He shares ways on life and lessons learned and reaches those who need it the most. Brandon shines the spotlight on others, courtesy of his core professional and personal value system. And remember that one piece of advice you were given about fame? Well, you simply don't have time to change who you are, as you are so busy refining our industry, supporting society, and the well-being of others. Brandon Rochon, on behalf of the American Advertising Federation, welcome to the 2019 Hall of Achievement. Congratulations.
Because, you know, I'm different. I'm different than everybody else.
My first impression of Brandon:
unapologetic.
his passion,
One of one.
0 Fs.
Well, for me, it was a big black dude that was out here being himself.
He's the mentor, he's the coach, he's the teacher, he's your friend.
Brandon is sensitive to how the world is changing.
When I present something to Brandon, he often tells me it's not crazy enough.
It's not industry first, it's not jargon first, it's people first.
Open your mind and follow the doodle. Are you following the doodle? I'm following the doodle.
Numbers are ruling everything. So I think it's trying to figure out the balance between humanity and what I like to call silicon.
One of Brandon's biggest passion points is trying to diversify the advertising industry. You know, pushing ideas is actually not about pushing ideas. It's about getting people to move towards your idea. The work that Brandon did on Samsung to really speak some interesting truth is something that he should be incredibly proud of.
Brandon was the shift that Samsung needed to challenge Apple. Make it dope.
Make it dope.
What's the mama truth?
My mama truth.
What up, boo?
Rooter to the tutor.
It's affluent, but it's not fluent.
You can invade the tribe.
Or you can be invited into one.
Don't ask for permission.
It's good enough for government work.
When it's all said and done, I think you're going to look back at this moment and say, he was really just getting started. The good part's what's about to come next.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Rochon.
I know I'm gonna cry. I'm just gonna take a moment. I'm gonna take this moment in. Because when we think that things like this is common, it's not. I also want to take a time to thank the women who championed me through this. We often don't give the ladies credit, but the reason that most of brothers who look like me are in this is not because of other brothers, but it's because about the women who saw us and love us. So Renetta, thank you. Connie, thank you. Tiffany R. Warren, thank you. Michelle Bolanowski, thank you. Debbie Bogdanis, thank you. Dorothy Ann Roshan, thank you. It was funny, my father and mother, I grew up in Saudi Arabia, and people who know me understand this story. But my mother and father used to tell me before, like they dropped me off in boarding school. I went to boarding school in London. And my father would say, son, dare to be great. Mom, Dad, how'd I do? I want to say thank you to the American Advertising Federation, not only for this amazing and humbling honor, but also because you have been my champion, my advocate, my friend, and the reason I'm even in this industry to begin with. To my fellow inductees, y'all some bad mofos. You are superheroes to me. We have been forever cemented in history in this very moment together. There is a reason God put us together at this particular moment in history. We are part of each other now, each other's story and each other's journey. So we must band together and connect with one another and promise each other we will be together, helping each other along our way. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me. May we all make a pact and a promise right now to uplift and encourage each other. And most importantly, start to become a family that calls, cheers, and even cries with each other to make a difference in each other's lives. 17 years ago, when a younger Brandon Roshan woke up and made my way to Ogilvy and Mather when it was at 111 East Wacker, right here in Chicago, awards were not on my mind. I was an assistant account exec intern, not even a creative yet. I didn't even know that advertisers got awards. And a day where I would be honored in this way, I probably couldn't have even comprehended it. I was just a young black man who was thankful that someone would give me a chance. Now, I spent most of my time at Ogilvy in the copier room. And when I say most of my time, I mean 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, making copies. While my counterparts were getting invited to meetings and lunches and brainstorms and helping shape our clients' businesses, I was covered in toner, nursing paper cuts, and just excited to be a part of the company. Now, that copy room wasn't one of them big-ass copy rooms like the mail room. Them fools had the Bentley of copiers. I was rolling in the Corolla. It was that little-ass copy room we all know that was like in between the bathroom and the creative department. And I was just happy to be there. I remember one day, this lady who would come into the copy room often, she just stopped and she turned to me and said, man, every day I come in here, you are always happy. I've never seen anyone make copies with so much enthusiasm and so much joy. She said, I always leave here feeling better than when I walked in. It was at that moment that something shifted inside of me. I promised myself that day that it did not matter what I would do in advertising that was important. It was how I would do it that mattered. Booker T. Washington said it best. Excellence is to do a common thing in an uncommon way. Now, anybody who knows me knows that I don't do nothing in a common way. But now the way I have always done it has been the same. All those hours making copies made me realize that the work I did could make an impact on this industry, but how I treated people could make a difference in this world. I was recently at an industry event, and this younger dude walked up to me and was like, Brandon Roshan, man, I want to be like you in this industry when I grow up, man, how do I do it? And I was like, oh my God, it got me feeling like I'm Jordan in this piece. Right, y'all want to be like Brandon now, huh? So I was like, you know what, okay, I'll give you the secret. I'm about to give you the keys. Are you ready? I said, come a little closer, my man. Come closer. He leaned in. I said, now this is profound. It's gonna rock your world. I said, but only a rock star could truly take this in. I said, are you a rock star, my man? He said, yes, sir, I'm a rock star. I said, good. Here it goes. I said, if you do this, I promise you will be great in this industry. He was like, word. I mean, his eyes was all wide open. He was looking at me like I was about to give him a hookup on like a Popeye's fried chicken crispy sandwich with some extra spicy sauce. I said, here it goes. You ready? It's simple. Be good. Now he looked at me like, fool, that's it? And I said, yes, that's the secret. Be good. Be good to others. Be good to yourself. Be good to this planet. Be good at the job. Be good to your girl or your boy. Be good to your friends. Be good to strangers. Be good to your mama. Be good at waiting in a long-ass line for a long-ass time. Be good with winning awards. Be good with someone else taking the credit for your work. Be good with someone overlooking you again for that promotion. Be good when they tell you you're too black. Be good when you fail. Be good when you succeed. Just promise me this one thing. You will be good. And if you do this, you will be surprised just how great you will become. These two simple words are the very reason I stand here before you at this moment. It was because I came across the people in this industry who lived by the be good mindset. A lot of them are sitting in this room today, and you know who you are. Thank you for choosing to be good. Thank you for pouring into me. Thank you for noticing me in the copier room between the creative department and the bathroom. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for being good to me. Thank you to, yes, my beautiful, funky, fly, fresh wife, Emily, for being good to me. Thank you to my amazing little girl, Monroe, for being good to Daddy. Thank you to my mentor, Eric Verrogan, who saw me and taught me and brought me to Paris. Thank you for being good to me. Thank you to my Fluent Familia. Thank you to my caster crew and my partners for being good to me. And last but not least, thank you to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for being so good to me. Thank you.
To present our final award, please welcome the Vice President of Global Client Partnerships for Google, Torrance Boone.
Occasionally in our careers as leaders, we come across that unique talent who stops us in our tracks and inspires us to look at the world differently. Not only in the context of what we're called on to accomplish as professionals, but how we think about the very dimensions of life in general. These rare individuals help us question the status quo, build highly functioning teams, and create new ways to tackle a problem. They challenge us to be better while never losing sight of the sweat and grit that got us to a new point of departure. When I joined Google, almost 10 years ago, I had the great fortune of being introduced to such an amazing and rare talent, and that person is John Nicoletti. John had been at Google for 6 years when I was brought in. I didn't realize it at the time, but in those days, 6 years was a very long time to be at Google. I was an industry veteran with years of experience on him, brought in to build a new and increasingly important business with advertising agencies. This was also the dawn of digital ads, and we were just beginning to grasp how technology and the internet could fundamentally transform the advertising industry. So here we were, a California techie in a hoodie and sneakers, working at the vanguard of our industry, and me, a New York ad exec, decidedly not in a hoodie, and the newly anointed adult in the room. Of course, his eyes rolled when I was pitched as someone he could learn from. We've all been there, right? Needless to say, it wasn't exactly the smoothest start. Our first challenge was executing a major reorg that required merging our teams. We had different specialties. John, or Nichols, as we call him, had the performance marketing expertise, and I brought the brand experience. It was clear we were better together, but unclear on how. And as we did the whole alpha male jockeying thing, more challenges actually mounted. We had seemingly impossible goals, a client base that did not yet understand the full potential of digital, and an industry in transformation. And yet, like most relationships forged in the trenches solving complex problems, we grew into a close and dynamic professional partnership that ultimately grew into a deeply trusting friendship. And then, man, this wellspring of energy, drive, passion, focus, inventiveness, relentlessness revealed itself from Nichols, and I was literally blown away. It was clear I had a right hand, but that right hand was a rocket ship. As I said, I was introduced to John as someone he could learn from, but I ended up learning so much from him as well. On the professional front, he taught me how Google worked. He demystified the arcane dimensions of the performance marketing world. He represented an amazing, objective, data-driven, and authoritative delivery style that stopped internal constituents and external partners in their tracks. On the personal front, he taught me about the power of transparency, the joys of major life events like the birth and milestones of his 3 amazing kids, and of course, the sanctity of a good bottle of wine. More than anything, he taught me the power of true and trusting professional partnership, the power of true and trusting friendship. It's my honor to introduce the AAF's Advertising Hall of Achievement honoree, John Nicoletti.
John has had such a tremendous impact on so many of us here at Google.
He is this great combination of someone who is very authentic, he gives it to people straight, but he's also incredibly supportive.
He wants to make something bigger successful, whether it's the team, whether it's obviously the customer and the partner.
John just pushes forward in wanting to really understand what some barriers might be in terms of inclusive team environments, inclusive work environments, and develop the most diverse and inclusive teams possible.
He's the balance of the ultimate executive and the unexecutive, because he shows up at work so polished, always put together, and yet, you know, when he lets his hair down, he's a drummer, he doesn't mean karaoke.
John's encouraged us to partner with YouTube on many marketing efforts like preventing opioid addiction, supporting girls in STEM education.
He was instrumental in creatively thinking about how could YouTube be used for good, and how did that network support many nonprofits.
David, could you ever imagine this was going to happen to John Nicoletti?
Yeah, it wouldn't have been something I would have bet on either, Penry, but I think he's proven it through his hard work, through his intellect.
The guy has been a stalwart for Google for many, many years.
He's been such an amazing mentor and manager, and most of all, a good friend.
What drew me to John was his confidence. I think that he carries that through into work. He knows what he wants to do and who he wants to be, and he is true to that in all aspects of his life.
Congratulations, John.
A big congratulations, John.
Congratulations, John.
Congratulations, Daddy!
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I'm really excited to see what you do next, and I'm sure me and probably most of us in this room will all be working for you one day.
Ladies and gentlemen, John Nicoletti.
Wow. First, I got to say thank you to Torrance. He's been an amazing mentor and friend for a lot of years. Thank you to the AAF for this amazing honor, and congratulations to the entire class of 2019. You are an amazing group of humans, and I am humbled to be part of this with all of you. And I think if we put our heads and our hearts together, we can do something really special, so hopefully we will. This is kind of a surreal moment for me, for a couple reasons. First of all, I love advertising. Not many people say that. Definitely people outside of this room don't say that, but I always have. When I was a kid, I liked the glossy back covers of magazines, and I would watch TV commercials, not just the iconic ones, but the quirky ones, like the old Alaska Airlines commercials. And I thought as a little kid, like, who came up with that idea? Whose idea was that? How did they bring that to life? Maybe someday I could be in that room. And I was also a really curious kid. I would sit in bed at night and I would think about questions that had no answer, that could not be answered. Obscure questions, hard-hitting questions, and I wondered if maybe someday those questions could be answered. So it's kind of surreal that I ended up in advertising, working with great brands and agencies, and I work for a place that quite literally is meant to answer your questions and organize the world's information. So that worked out. But this was an unlikely journey for me. Growing up, my career was meant to follow in my father's footsteps. He said, get a technical degree and go into public accounting. So I did. I went to Santa Clara University. I got my degree in accounting. I did my internship, and I got a job in an accounting firm. I had the next 25 years of my life just right there in front of me. Very mundane, very predictable, but it was there. And not maybe more than a couple of days after I started at that accounting firm, my boss called me into his office. He said, look, the economy's bad. We lost some customers, and you're young, so you're gone. And I got laid off. And that was a punch in the gut for me. But that was also a good lesson in serendipity, that everything that happens, good or bad, is going to happen for a reason. And in this case, it gave me the opportunity to step back and remember what it was like to be a kid and the things I wanted to do. And so that's how I came to Google 16 years ago. My first day at Google, I had a one-on-one with our department head. Her name was Sheryl Sandberg, and she drops just mountains of knowledge on me. But I only wrote down two things in my notebook that day. That was meritocracy and rocket ship. She said, if you work hard, if you play nice with others and you master your craft, you're going to be just fine. And when you see a rocket ship in life, when you see a company or a place that can do good and have a major impact, you get on. So as I kept that with me in my career, and as I thought about what is a career, frankly, what is life, life is simply the people that you spend your time with and the experiences that you have. And I have been blessed to have amazing people in my life. My family, my friends, my mentors, they support me, they're in it with me, and they pick me up every single day. And the experiences that come with that, there's good ones, there's challenging ones, but they make you better. I don't have time, we're at the end of this show, I don't have time to give you all of them, but I'll give you a couple just in this room. Tara Walpert-Levy, right there, who taught me what it meant to be a great partner in business. Yeah, we can give a clap for Tara. And former inductee. She said, look, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, we go together. And that was partnership. Or Torrance Boone, who taught me about authenticity. He said, you're doing great in your career, but you're way too serious. Stop being Mr. Nicoletti and start being Nichols. And that was Torrance. And so he did. He said, look, your customers will like you, your teams will love you, and you're going to be happier in life. So this award is not for me. This award is for all of us that have been on that journey together day in and day out. And for that, I say thank you. Now, there are a couple specific people that I need to say thank you to. And the first of which are my parents, without whom I quite literally would not be here. To my mom, who's watching from up there today, who is always my biggest supporter and the one that taught me to take nothing for granted. To my dad, who wanted to be here today, who showed me what hard work meant, and also was there no matter what I got myself into to give great advice. To my beautiful wife, Courtney, and my beautiful in-laws, no one's used that one yet, that are also here to celebrate today. Courtney, a thank you I cannot do justice to. You are amazing. You keep me balanced. You keep everyone around me sane. We've built a beautiful life together, and I love you. And as we said at the beginning of all of this, when you know, you know. To the teams that I work with, Tara, Torrance, everyone who is here, everyone who is not here today, you guys make this fun. There have been over 600 Monday mornings that I've come into the same company, okay? They're not all great ones, but most of them are because of you. We're in it together, we fight for each other, and we have fun doing it, and it is a privilege to work with each and every one of you. To my mentors, those that have paid it forward, those that have supported me and taught me what it meant to help others along in this business. And lastly, to Google, who has given me opportunities and given me a platform to do good in this world. So I'm going to end with this. This is a happy moment. There's a lot of joy in this room today. And there's a lot of talk about joy and happiness in the world. And research would tell you the happiest people are the people that believe that life is long and that life is easy. Now, that may be easier said than done, but I buy into that. And if you do too, I'm excited for the long journey together with all of you. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back the President and CEO of the American Advertising Federation, Steve Pacheco.
I'm not going to read that teleprompter because I wrote notes and I want to close on this thought. I'm blown away by today, and I hope you are too. The fact that this group came together in this fashion and made it to Chicago, half of it is just making it to Chicago this week, is really, really encouraging to me. And I have one or two words for each of you, and I'll be brief, but it's important that I get this out too. Kwame, you're clearly at peace in your world. And I think we could all be at peace with the world, and I respect you for that. Britt, I love that the no's got you further than the yeses. And I love that you stayed hungry. Dara, I love that you mentioned family and faith, universally connected. And I think I heard that a lot today, and it was really inspiring. The first, Brandon, the journey from North Carolina to here is an amazing story unto itself, and you've spread joy along the way, and you're to be commended for that. John talked about the power of mentors and the power of one, and how many people have helped him get to this point. Melissa spoke about values, but I think it went much deeper than that, and I got a lot out of that as well. And then Brandon, he was making copies, but you're not going to make a copy of Brandon, I promise you. And then John ended it on a high note too. And John, I love advertising as well, and it's okay to love advertising. I think advertising loves you back. This is the greatest business in the world. It's an amazing time to be in this business. We've got a lot of challenges ahead, but I've never been more convicted that with this group of folks and this deeply committed team of people, the advertising industry is certainly in good hands. I do want to say that everyone who spoke today brought up people. And this is a people-oriented business, and we're all here with people that we know and trust and have worked with alongside for days and months and years. And when I see the people in this room and know the histories and the stories behind them, I'm incredibly inspired, and my sense is renewed that these are all good people doing all good things. And that's what the AAF Advertising Hall of Achievement is all about. We heard a lot about support, about sacrifice, about the family and the faith and the network that supports you. about encouragement being given in even the smallest ways, meaning a lot. We also heard that we need to be better humans, and I can certainly get behind that. So I'm going to leave you with this thought. These are good people doing great things, and we all can be better humans, and we can all make this industry even greater. I appreciate and congratulate the entire 2019 class of the AAF Advertising Hall of Achievement. You make me proud to be in this industry. Thank you all. I do have to read this. All the honorees are going to stay behind, get up on stage. We're going to take some pictures. And otherwise, that's a wrap. Let's send them out with a big happy high five.